Good afternoon, I'm Marika Bean. Welcome to my presentation on frontal vowel sounds. Today we will be examining the frontal vowel sounds and key differences between ones that seem to be more challenging for English language learners. I'm going to start off with a bit of rationale and then get right into the lesson. From my experiences, I have found that English language learners often feel self-conscious about their accent, and this can really be a hindrance to improving and practicing their language skills. This lesson is directed towards helping advanced English language learners from about a CLB level 9. It would help them to improve their speaking abilities. Now, though these learners have a good grasp of language, there is always still room for improvement. Now, vowels tend to be an area in which many language learners struggle, and so this lesson will focus on differences between the 5 frontal vowels. And so the 5 frontal vowels are E as in green, I as in pink, A as in gray, E as in red, and A as in black. And so those 5 frontal vowel sounds we will be really focusing on, and especially looking at the differences between lax and tense vowels. Now for this particular lesson, I've chosen the theme Foods of the World, and students will be able to share their experiences, their own food preferences in terms of what they like to eat. Now, because these are more advanced students, they would not be in an ESL class per se. They may be incorporated into a regular communications class, like I've taught at Conestoga in previous years. But it may have an international student flavor to the class. Now, this lesson in particular will focus on the frontal vowels and utilizing food names for sounds that I will be teaching, just to keep it interesting. The lesson is deductive in nature, and I felt that teaching the sound to each phoneme was very helpful, especially in comparing the more difficult ones that tend to get mixed up. My practice activity incorporates both listening and speaking, especially for this particular lesson. Speaking is so key because we do want our students to be able to use proper pronunciation and to be understood by their peers, potential employers, and other people within the community. Now, the length of this class, I would anticipate it would be about 50 minutes. And prior knowledge to this, just in terms of this lesson, we would have previously covered conditional verb tenses, and we also would have previously looked at back and central vowels, and so we've left the frontal vowels until the very end. So that hopefully should give a bit of background into this lesson and help you to understand where I'm coming from when I get into frontal vowels. All right, well, we will get started. I'll start off with a warm-up and get right into the lesson. Okay, so to start off today, I would like to get each of you to write down 5 things that you would like to eat if you were having a party. And so I want you to get a piece of paper, write it down as a complete sentence with a list of 5 things that you would like to eat at a party. So I'd give about a minute for this. And we'll write some of these things on the board. Okay, so I have our list. So a few of you have contributed, and here's our list. So if I were having a party, I would like to eat. And so I've just got a few things here: chips, spring rolls, cake, samosas. These are great examples. Now, can anyone tell me what vowel sounds we have in these words? All right, Lee. All right, we've got chips. We've got the I. What's another one? Right, the I in spring and the O in rolls. Adira, what do you think? We've got the A in cake. That's the only one that actually makes a sound here. The E is silent. And then in samosas, we have the A, the O, and the A. Great. Now we have looked at some of these as back vowels, but we have not looked at some of them. So for example, the I in chips, we have not looked at as a frontal vowel. The A in cake, we have not looked at yet as a front vowel. And so we're going to be looking at these today. So today we're going to distinguish between similar frontal vowels. We'll be looking at all of the frontal vowels, but in particular we will be distinguishing between ones that are quite similar. And now when we use front vowels, what we need to know is that the sound is made at the front of the mouth, the front of the tongue. So think front, and if we were to have a diagram, which I do have and we have looked at in previous days, it would look like this. So here is our diagram of the mouth. The ones that we are looking at are these ones here. So we are looking at the 5 here. So here we have E as in green. We have I as in pink. We have A right here as in gray. We have E as in red. And we have A as in black. So these are our sounds. E, I, A, A. Right? And just to kind of give us a better visual of this, we have our vowel color chart as well. And so we would be looking at this row here. And this is just a really great visual. So this is something I'd put up as a PowerPoint. So we've got green, pink, gray, red, black. So this is our frontal vowel chart. Really great. Now I'm going to write the symbols on the board just to kind of get students to be familiar with what sounds we're looking at. These are the particular sounds that we are looking at. These ones in particular. So these are the IPA symbols, and you should write these down in your notebook. Now together, I would like us to say these sounds. We'll just say the sounds first. So if you could repeat after me, that would be great. So we have E, I, A, E, and A. Now let's read through the colors here. So together with me, green, pink, gray, red, black, right? So let's really focus in on these sounds. So we're going to start off actually with the IPA symbol of E, the IY. So we'll get started with that. And so when we look at the sound, or what's actually called a phoneme, if we look at IY, this sound is made with a tense mouth. So we would say green. So if you look at my mouth, E, E. So you really see my teeth. You see that the mouth is pulled back. The mouth is really pulled back. And when we look at this, I've got a diagram. This is what would be on the board. The mouth is quite wide, right? We have a wide mouth here. Teeth would be showing. This is a tense vowel. And it's often spelled a variety of ways. You might have E-E, E-A, Y-I, or I-E. And then a few examples of words we might have would obviously be, green, tea, relieve, bee. Are there any other examples that we know of that use this sound? Anyone? Moses. Okay, what examples might you know that use this sound? Mean. Very good, very good. That's an excellent example. It's that E sound, right? So your mouth pulls back. Everyone just make that sound with me. E, E. Really focus on what your mouth is doing, right? E. Great. Any questions about that? All right, we're going to quickly move on to the next vowel. So the next vowel that is a high front vowel is the I sound, the I sound. And so this will also be on the board. The I sound looks like a capital I. And so this is the IPA symbol, the International Phonetic Alphabet symbol. This is a more relaxed vowel sound. It's called a lax sound. It's just I. So if you look at my mouth, I, right? There's not a lot of muscle movement here, so you don't actually see the muscles moving in the face, right? I, right? It's kind of a dropping of the jaw. And this can be spelled with the I, the UI, and a Y. So There's a variety of different sounds. Now, do you feel how much more relaxed your face is when you make the I sound? Let's all make it together. I, I. Great. Yeah, and so this is very different compared to the IY sound. So IY makes the E, and the I sound, or the I symbol, makes the I, right? So no pulling back of the mouth on this one. Now, can anyone think of words that use this particular example? Ahmed, what do you think? Ahmed. Yeah, bib and fit. Very good, very good. When we think of this symbol, we also do need to think of where the tongue is positioned. And so this is a higher position in the mouth for the tongue. So it's not flat. The tongue is not flattened down to the bottom. It is more towards the top of your mouth. Right? So this would be called a high frontal sound. But it is just really the dropping of the jaw. Good. Now, if we want to compare these two sounds, the E and the I, I've got a couple of great words that do this. So a word like green utilizes the E sound, green, but a similar word is grin, green. See how similar they are? They have the same consonants but different vowels. And you can see the mouth does different things. Let's try it together. Green, grin. Green, grin. Excellent. Another one is bean, bin. Bean, bin. And so you can really see the differences in your mouth. And we are using food words for this as well. Okay, our next sound is EY. It sounds like A. And so you want to think gray in this instance. And so on the board, I would write the IPA symbol. So we've got the EY. And again, this is a tense vowel. And it does require the mouth to be in a similar position to this. A. And so there's a little more muscle movement in the jaw for this. And so it's a bit more open. You can tell from the diagram here, it's a bit more open and it is tense. And it can be spelled in many different ways actually. So this one's kind of tricky. So it could be AI, AAY, EY, EH, ET, ER. And there's a lot of different ways that you could spell this. And so kind of a tricky one. So some great examples here would be gray, paint. Any other examples you guys can think of? Yep, Donna, foyer, yep. The A at the end of foyer. Does everyone know what foyer means? Foyer is kind of the entrance to a building, right? The entrance to a building. Any other examples? Okay, Amira, mate. Yes, mate is another great example. It uses the EY sound, a mate. Very good. Any questions about this particular example? All right, we'll move along. Our next sound is So the actually, it looks, in terms of an IPA symbol, it looks like a backwards 3. It looks like a backwards 3, or a funny E, actually. And this would be the color red on the the vowel color chart. So this is a relaxed sound. You know, the muscles in your face are not doing a lot. It's just again, another dropping of the mouth, dropping of the jaw. And this is a more central tongue position. So it's lower than the others, but it's still not at the bottom of your mouth. It is spelled, you know, often with an E, EA, AI, or an A. Some great examples: read, said, men, fed. Great. Any other examples we can think of? Head. Yes, great example, Mary. Head. Absolutely. And so again, you'll notice the mouth is a bit more open. Eh, right? So it's not like E, where the mouth is like pretty closed. It's right? More open. Very good. Now there are quite a few similarities between the sound and the sound A. These can be very confusing for people, just generally, because they are so similar in terms of how they are formed. And so I'll show you kind of two that are very similar. So the example of wait and wet. So wait, wet. They look kind of similar, but when you feel it in your mouth, wait, this definitely uses more muscle tone, right? And so we know that this is a tense vowel. This is the A sound. Wet, though it looks very similar, doesn't require as many muscles in our face. It's more of a dropping of the jaw. This is the vowel sound E. Another example would be taste, another food word. Taste, right? More muscle. Test, less muscle tone. This is more of a relaxed sound for us. And so hopefully this kind of opens your eyes to, the feelings of these frontal vowel sounds. Now our last frontal vowel is A, as in black. And so this obviously would be written on the board, but I have it on a white sheet here. So this is kind of an A-E that's combined. And so this is a special symbol. It's an AE. This is not something that's easily found on your keyboard. This is a special symbol you would actually have to insert in Microsoft Word. Now this is a lax vowel, so it doesn't require a lot of muscle usage. And it's often spelled with A, AI, or AU. And you'll notice the lips are open and they are spread, so and this is actually our biggest frontal vowel, So the mouth is open the most at this point. Great. Now, this last frontal vowel, the A, the tongue is actually lowest, in the lowest position you can have it. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, The tongue is really on the bottom of your mouth when you make this vowel sound. Now, can we think of some words? Ying. Okay, what do you think? Laugh. Very good. Laugh would be an excellent example. Laugh. Okay, any other ones? Land. Yep, that's another great one. Back. Yep. And I have these ones. So black, sat, laugh. Very good. And you'll see my symbol here. The mouth is wide open for ah. Very good. Now just a little bit of recap here. So if I have a word like egg in a sentence like, I would like eggs for breakfast. What sound is in egg or eggs? Okay, yes, it is eh. So it is like the backwards 3 symbol. Very good. How about a word like steak? I would like steak cooked on the barbecue. Medium well. What sound is in steak? A, right. It's the EY, A. Excellent. And the last one I'll review. What about snack? I would like a snack before dinner. Okay, yes, it would be the AE. It would be the A sound. Very good. Great work. So we're going to move on to an exercise that uses these vowel sounds. And so in front of you, you have a handout that looks like this. I've included the vowel chart that has all of our front, central, and back vowels. But this exercise is what we're going to focus on right here. And so we'll read through the directions and we'll get started on this practice activity. Now, could a volunteer read our directions for part A? Okay, Sam, thank you. Could you read that? Great. Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you, Sam. So I will read the words and you will pick the word, circle the word that has a different vowel sound. Let's get started. Number 1, bean, peas, sheep, meat, lick. I'll say it again. Bean, peas, sheep, meat, lick. Okay, circle the one that's different. Number 2, cake, grapes, ham, maize. I'll say it again. Cake, grapes, ham, maize. So this activity would continue on until all 10 have been completed. Then we would do part B. So it says, with a partner, read through each set of words out loud, practicing the sounds together. Then, as a class, we will read through them together again. And so all of this would give an excellent practice for a class that is looking to really distinguish between vowels that they may not be as strong in. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching and visiting my presentation on frontal vowels. Have a great day.